All right, page 4. Trying to not go too fast, but not bore you to death here. Which statement best explains why a wet saw used to cut through fine optical crystals is constantly lubricated with oil? My answer would be it reduces the friction, and reducing the friction decreases the amount of heat that's generated, which is, in our class, we'll call it internal energy. So answer 1 actually is right. Lubrication decreases friction, and I think that says minimizes the increase of internal energy. So that's their best answer. Let's see, next question. A force of 25 newtons east and a force of 25 newtons west act concurrently on a 5 kilogram cart. What's the acceleration? 25 east and west means your net force is 0, so your acceleration is 0. F net equals ma, right? So if these cancel, a has to be 0. An unstretched spring has a length of 10 centimeters. When the spring is stretched by a force of 16 newtons, its length is increased to 18 centimeters. What is the spring constant? We have not done this. F equals kx is how you do it. F is the force, x is the change in length of the spring. So k is the spring constant. It's F over x. I really hope this question's not on there. Don't worry if it is. We'll figure out a way to get around it. So you just have to make sure you put everything in the proper units. It looks like newtons per centimeter. You can do it. This equation's on your reference table, but like I said, we don't do this until energy. Graph below represents the displacement. So displacement. Moving a straight line as a function of time. What was the total displacement of the object after 10 seconds? You just go up to 10. The displacement, displacement at that point right there is 8 meters. If they ask what was the distance covered, you would say 8 plus 8 is 16 plus 8 is 24. That would be the distance following that entire path. What is the magnitude of the gravitational force between Earth and the Moon? Again, we haven't done this yet. We'll do this next when we do circles. Fg is equal to big G, m1, m2 over r squared is our equation. If you're interested, this is in the reference table, this is in the reference table, this is in the reference table, this is in the reference table. You just do the math. Don't worry about it. Next question. Diagram below shows a 1 times 10 to the 5th Newton truck at rest. I shouldn't have done that. At rest. You need to see that word horizontal. Oh, makes an angle of 8 degrees with the horizontal. What is the component of the truck's weight parallel to the hill? So this is Fg. They want to know what's Fg parallel. Remember, Fg perpendicular has a C in it, so this is Fg cosine of theta. Fg parallel is Fg sine of theta. So Fg is... They tell you it's a 1 times 10 to the 5th Newton truck. That's basically telling you what Fg is. So do the math. I don't have a calculator with me. Actually, I do. 1 times 10 to the 5th times the sine of 8 degrees is 13917, which is basically 1.4. Whoops, 1.4 times 10 to the 4th, which is answer 3. Which graph best represents the motion of an object in equilibrium? Equilibrium means F net is 0 and A is 0. If A is 0, this is not a good answer because this is showing acceleration. This is showing accelerating acceleration. That's not good. This one is showing acceleration. This one is showing V is constant. And V is constant means A is 0. That's our answer. The normal force acting on a typical high school student standing on the surface of Earth. Typical high school student is 600 newtons. So that's the force acting down. The normal force would be the same force acting up. So 600 newtons. Person walks 150 meters due east. And then walks 30 meters due west. The entire trip takes the person 10 minutes. Determine the magnitude and direction of the person's total displacement. So the time doesn't matter. The displacement is start to finish, shortest distance. So this is your displacement. It's 150 minus 30 equals 120. And you went east to begin with, and then came back a little bit west, but ultimately you ended up east, so it's 120 meters east. Okay, if they asked for distance, it would be 180, that total distance there. All right, another page down.